Hey everybody, welcome to another Tuesday live stream. It's April 28th and we are going to have some fun today. We got an extra person in the studio today.
Indeed.
Hi.
Hello.
Dustin, you want to do the introductions?
This is Jesse Batcherton, a very, very, very good friend of mine. He came down from Georgia
I did.
for a couple of days to hang out and say hi.
Practicing
And,
social distancing.
Social
Yep.
distancing.
Social distancing at its finest.
Yeah.
And back to you, Dad.
But also, we're doing an experiment today. We're trying to live stream on Instagram for the first time. We've added that platform, so it might be clunky, it might cut out, we're not sure. So if you guys are watching us on Instagram, forgive us if it doesn't work. Well, but we'll be working on getting the bugs out, if there are any bugs. We're going to see if it works today. But everything's going really great. We've had a great week. We're still working away on getting that Birds of Prey course done for you guys, how to draw birds of prey. There's a lot to cover, and so we're just kind of chipping away at it, Dustin and I. And today, since we've been working on that, I'd like a break from the Birds of Prey. So I thought today we could do another request day. And so if any of you out there have any requests, throw them our way, and I'll. Excuse me, man. I'm a little burpy this morning. I just drank a bunch of water.
Just a little burpee.
I'm a little burpy.
So wait a minute, you're burpee from water.
Yeah, well, I drank a lot. I had a little. I drank a lot of water and got some air down
Was it
my
bubbly?
belly. But where was I? Oh, so we're gonna do that. If I like the request, or if I find one that intrigues me, then we'll go ahead and do it. But before we get to that, I just want to remind you guys that because of, and I say this every time, about our sale that we've got going on, I want you guys to really take advantage of it, because it's we don't know if we'll ever go back to this, but because of the everyone being quarantined, people missing work, all of that, we've made it really possible for you guys to get our stuff. We've got my introduction to animation course is absolutely free, which is one of our biggest sellers on the website, and we've decided just to make it free. I truly want people to go into this or come out of all of this better than what they went in, and to learn and to better themselves. And so we're trying to make that available for everybody. So if you go to creatureartteacher.com, you're going to find that free introduction to animation. You're going to find $1 Photoshop brushes for an entire set, not just for a brush. I mean, for a set of 20 brushes, it's $1. And some of our other courses as well are $1. And other ones are completely slashed, way down. So just go over there and explore and load up. And if you don't come out of this knowing something a little bit better or speaking another language, then your excuse before was not that you didn't have enough time. We'll say that. But anyway, like I said, like I always say, I've got Dustin here with me on the right.
Hi.
And we've
Hello.
got Nick Birch in Sarasota, and we've got Instagram today. So
Yes.
hopefully that's going to work. And
It is working. It's just a little narrow.
all right. Oh, it is a little narrow. All right, cool. We'll see what happens when we switch to the other. We'll switch to my screen. But what do we got? I want requests. I want you to tell me what you want me to draw today.
Got a unicorn. Haven't
Hey.
done horses yet.
I haven't done a unicorn in a while.
Somebody said polar bear.
Oh, polar bear is cool.
Cowboy bison.
Cowboy bison.
Yes, or an evil queen. Cowboy bebop. Cowboy bison.
Cowboy bebop.
A jaguar.
Bear in a beehive. YouTube question or request. A bear in a beehive.
That looks actually fun to draw.
Yeah.
I want to do it.
Cowboy bison, bear in a beehive. I just like saying those. Cowboy bison and a bear in a beehive.
Sounds like
An
something a cowboy would
athletic
say.
cheetah. Cheetahs are already athletic, I think.
Yeah.
I think cheetahs are, look at a cheetah. It's pretty athletic.
I can picture a giant bison leaning on a
Yeah.
counter of a saloon
With a little hat.
with a little hat, teeny tiny little cowboy hat.
A fennec fox.
A blue whale.
Oh,
This is unicorn. We just had our second unicorn request.
A hillbilly alligator playing a banjo. Albino peacock.
You know, what I haven't drawn. I don't think I may have drawn it once or twice. It's a unicorn. We've had 2 requests so far of unicorns,
Yeah.
right? What do you think about a unicorn? 70s style raccoon. Pretty funny.
70s style raccoon.
How about a unicorn? We'll do a unicorn.
Let's do a unicorn.
All right,
Okay.
let's just do it.
Let's just
Unicorn.
do it. Unicorn.
I want to do like something different though, like a draft horse unicorn or something. You know, something big.
Like a Frisian.
Yeah.
Those
like
are really pretty.
What animated movies
a Shire horse.
were you
Shire.
part of?
Ooh.
Somebody on Instagram asked.
What animated movies?
Yes.
I worked on 2 Roger Rabbit short cartoons that went out with different movies. And then I went on to work on The Rescuers Down Under, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, The Lion King, Pocahontas, Mulan, and I directed Brother Bear, co-directed Brother Bear.
So,
Let's do it vertical. Vertical might be better.
It's like somebody said Pegasus too, like a unicorn with wings. That'd be cool.
Unicorn and wings.
Yeah.
Huh?
What is
That would
it?
be interesting. That'd be an alicorn.
someone's asking for a Cusco unicorn.
Cusco unicorn.
Don't you even say a word. Unicorn eating
I
popcorn.
want to find a good pose. We're gonna thumbnail out these poses.
Who designed the Brother Bear poster in your studio?
That was the marketing department at Disney. So what I'm doing now is when someone gives me a request, I have to, it's brand new to me. I hadn't thought about this at all, and so I want to find something that's going to be really cool. I want to find a great pose. And so with that, I have to kind of find it.
Unicorn with parrot feathers and a crazy face. Crazy face. But then would that not make it a horse anymore? Or a unicorn?
As long as it doesn't have a dog mouth like the other night I showed you.
Oh God.
That was terrifying.
Yeah. So I'm just I'm searching.
Rearing up?
Oh, you know what I might do?
What?
Just like a
Ear to the head? That would be interesting too.
I'm suggesting a buffalo unicorn.
A bufficorn.
A bufficorn?
A unibuff. that sounds like a bad hairstyle.
A unibuff. It's just like one giant puff of hair.
Yeah.
Hey Aaron,
Hey, how you doing?
where did you buy the Milt Call drawing?
It was given to me. So it was given to me by a very good friend. And I want this to be a big horse.
Yeah, what are the name of those really big horses? Like
Draft horses.
draft horses.
Clydesdales and
Shires.
Shires.
Frisians.
Think I'm turning into one of those.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's really good. I like that so far.
Yeah. So I just want this nice regal pose.
Yeah, I love
Because-
horses.
Yeah, because usually when you think unicorn, you're thinking like sleek and slender. But,
Yeah. This guy's gonna be big.
it's like I use my horn for war.
Yeah.
We have to see a rainbow in here somewhere, right?
A majestic rainbow in the background.
No rainbows, only war.
Did someone write that?
No, I said that.
There we go. And look, here we go.
What's your favorite drawing app?
I love Procreate. Matter of fact, I've got a course on my website on how to draw in Procreate.
A unicorn with bat wings.
Hmm.
That's interesting.
Hi, Aaron.
Hey, how you doing?
Any idea when the next online workshop going to be and what it will be about? Love your work.
We're going to do some animal drawing. We're going to talk about, we're going to do a live workshop on animal drawing, and it'd probably be in the next month or so.
Where did the horse get its steroids? Can you hook me up?
There, nice big horse. Let me look at it from the other side. Break on to the other side. Achilles, relax, dude. You're going in and out. Stop. Come here. Come say hi. Come up here. Come here. Come here. Come say hi. There, this is Achilles.
Someone actually asked what his name was.
Yeah, Achilles as in Achilles heel. There he is. There he is. I love you. Yes, I do.
He's a
Okay,
good
you
dog.
gotta go now. He's a good boy.
He's a good boy. Hi, buddy.
Alright, this leg is a little wonky. I want to get that ankle out there just a little bit more.
Would you make a drawing about great apes course?
Yes. We plan on doing that.
Have you ever done animal art for museums?
I haven't. I've wanted to. I've always thought the dioramas could be really cool. So we've got a good audience on Instagram, so that's cool. So unicorns, don't they have a tail like a lion? Kinda.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, sometimes is portrayed as a tail of a lion. Sometimes it's portrayed as a like a horse tail, but I think it's all about the whoever draws it. They decide which one to go for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like Greek mythology it definitely has like the tail of a lion, with like those little tufts right here by their hooves.
Yes. Like a Shire horse.
Yes. And they had like bull hooves, like they had that crazy
Oh,
hooves.
the split hooves?
Yes, they do.
Well, I don't know if I'll go that far. This is my world.
Yes. Your unicorn is the best unicorn.
This unicorn needs a uniform.
Uniform. Beautiful.
There we go. Get him up on this rocky ledge. Get him in a nice heroic pose. He's overlooking his kingdom.
How many feet of animation would you do a day at Disney, and what does that equate to in time?
I could get done usually about 10 to 15 feet a week, which that equates to every foot and a half is a second. So work it out.
Work it out. Is he doing a Clydesdale unicorn?
I am. I wanted to do something a bit beefier.
Beefy horse.
Beefy.
Beefy.
He big boy.
He's a chonker. I just like that word.
Chunk.
Yeah.
There we go.
Did you know the narwhal whale originated the myth of the unicorn?
I did. Did you know that manatees supposedly originated the myth of, and seals, of mermaids?
Ooh, I love mermaids.
Really?
Yeah. There we go. So there's our unicorn.
Without her beefy, it's what's for dinner.
He's so majestic. Majestic.
Majestique.
How many animation movies have you worked on in total so far?
7 or 8 films. What breed is Achilles? I don't know. Achilles is a mix. He's a mix for sure.
Terrier.
Davin on YouTube says, "Hi Aaron, I just bought your watercolor course. I'm so excited to learn the skills you have to offer. Your style of watercolor is so cool." Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Let's go ahead and resize him again. I'm going to get him just right for this composition. Sorry it's so small, but I like to shrink it so I can see it in relation to the full composition.
And what bundle of brushes is that brush that you're currently
This is my original custom brush set. Custom brush set number 1, and this is the 7th brush. This is Pastel 7. There. Hey Aaron, could you give some tips on what to put in an animation portfolio? It's for university exchange students. I have more paintings than animations though. Thanks so much for your streams. Well, in an animation portfolio, if you want animation, man, so, or woman, and actually I'm going to pull that back. So make sure you have some good animation in there, the best stuff you've got. You know, if you're just going into training, it's okay to, you know, if you're using it for school to you know, use it, put what, you know, if you've got walk cycles and things like that, then, you know, do that. If you're doing it as a professional portfolio, then you want more substantial work in there than just walk cycles. And you're going to want, you know, lots of acting and whatnot.
Yesterday evening, I was looking on YouTube for you, and saw a video of Dustin drawing a line and pushing the art button. That was fun. Yeah, that was a fun April Fool's video. I think my favorite part was the fart button.
Yeah.
I used to have one.
So here, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lighten it up, and we're going to do a little bit of.
A little bit of
Yeah, we're going to tie this down a little bit.
Gonna have great big oomph.
Put some emphasis into it.
Oh, by the way, if you follow me on Instagram, if you want to follow me on Instagram, follow me at Aaron Blaze Art. I would love more love.
Love is the greatest feeling in the world.
Sorry if it's already been asked, but the tablet you have, does it have a screen, or are you drawing on the tablet and seeing on a separate device?
Well, let's switch over. Hello. This is what I'm drawing on. So this is a Wacom Cintiq 32 Pro. It's an awesome machine. I love it. And it's you know, it's not cheap, but you know, I work every day. This is my job professionally, and so I'm always a big believer in getting the right equipment for the job. And this, for me, is really the right equipment. There are, you know, there's other companies and that have less expensive choices, and a lot of people swear by those, and that's great. But you know, this is my choice. I love it. Huon, I think, is another one that people use. But I love Wacom, really do. Always, I've been using Wacom for the last 15 years.
Vanya's here.
Hey, Vanya.
Says, hi guys, I finally thought about the stream going live and tuned in. I'm really impressed with your building skills. Marshall's place looks awesome.
Well, we're actually, while we're going to be streaming today, we're getting a quote on drywall. Drywall is the one thing we will not do. It's a pain in the butt.
Pain in the booty. Doesn't your arm get tired drawing in on an upright tablet like that?
No, I'm built like an ox.
My weak arms would get tired so fast. Yeah, because you're using you're using your shoulder, right?
Yeah.
Not your arm. Have you tried using an iPad using Procreate?
Yes. As a matter of fact, if you're interested, I created an entire course on Procreate for iPad. It's available on my website, and I think it's at a really low price. Bam. And also, if you're interested, if you want to, I've got a course on how to draw horses as well, which is where I'm pulling from right now out of my head, is my course on how to draw horses. I've got a whole series on animal drawing, which is why we're currently working on our how to draw birds of prey. Where do you think your love of animals came from? I definitely can appreciate it, especially lions are so beautiful. You know, I grew up out in the country, and I think I've just always identified with other animals. I think it's just an empathetic thing. I think we all, most people that have any sort of empathy tend to like animals. You can project yourself. You see them as other living things, and I just think it's a natural thing.
Hey Aaron, do your kids draw?
I don't know. Do they?
I haven't drawn in a couple of years, but I'm mainly a wildlife photographer now, and you can actually find my Instagram at Dustin_Blaze. But Austin, though.
No, Austin doesn't. She doesn't draw that much, but she definitely has an artistic flair. She's currently really into doing stained glass.
Yeah, she also makes some really cool bracelets too.
She does, and she does paint every once in a while, and they're beautiful little paintings.
The little watercolors.
Yeah. Twitch question: what do you think of people that want to get into more than one thing? Environments, characters, concept design, 2D and 3D. I've heard that. Not a good thing to do, but I kind of feel like I really need to learn all those to fulfill what I want from art. But I would love to hear your opinion. It never hurts to gain more knowledge, obviously. But if you want to get a job in the industry, if that's your goal, you really should specialize in something, or at least be a generalist in a certain area. That'll enable you to get a job, but not, once you have that job, continue to learn. Continue to branch out and stretch your creative mind.
Are you using any reference for this image?
No. But I've drawn a lot of horses.
That's your horses there, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started out drawing horses as a kid. That's what I used to always do.
Yeah. I love drawing horses. And like I said, I've got that whole course on drawing horses on my website, creatureartteacher.com.
The best website.
I thank you.
Absolutely.
Do you have any physical art class?
No.
I think like maybe in person?
No. We'll occasionally do workshops. We just did a workshop right before the whole coronavirus shutdown. We did a workshop in Sarasota, Florida, and we'll be doing more of those eventually once all of this, opens up again. But that tail actually should come from over here.
Any tips on how to get a job in art and where to start?
Well, how to get a job in art is a very general question because there's all kinds of art, right? There's fine art, there's illustration, there's animation, there's all kinds of stuff. So the first thing you need to do is find the thing that you want to do, and then train as much as you can to get as good as you can, whether, like I said, it's illustration or animation or whatever it might be, and then never stop doing it. That's when I was a kid. When I was young, I was obsessed with drawing and painting, and I just knew that this is what I was going to do as a living. And so eventually, once I graduated from high school, I decided that I wanted to go to college and learn more about art. Now nowadays, when I went to college, there was no such thing as the internet or anything like that. And so nowadays there's so much more information out there that you can get right offline, and let me get this around here.
You ready for a new question here, bud?
Yeah, sorry.
Have you ever considered taking commissions for pencil sketches?
If I ever considered taking commissions for, you know what? No, not really. I mean, I used to do commissions. I used to do a lot of gallery work, but I just don't have the time anymore. Most of my time is spent creating courses now that we put on our website.
Have you ever used guidelines?
Guidelines?
Yes.
I don't know what that is.
It's a line that helps you guide through.
Not really. It helps you guide through.
Helps you guide. It's a line that's your guide.
Hey Aaron, YouTube question. What's the best way to ensure colors don't get muddy? My values always look fine, but I have trouble with hue and saturation. Well, it depends. A lot of times using pure color, there's not a lot of pure color in nature when you sit down and really think about it. It's a lot of colors are mixed with complementary colors, and it's a lot of shades of, warm grays and cool grays and things like that. When you really think about it, and there's little splashes of pure color here and there. The key is, to make sure, first of all, that you're not, try not to mix more than just a couple of colors at a time, to get the color that you're looking for, and that'll help keep things from getting muddy. And watch out that you're not mixing too much of your complements. Mixing opposite colors like green and red, or violet and yellow, blue and orange. Those types of mixing will create mud, and it's okay to create the muddy colors sometimes, or sometimes they create some really beautiful, rich browns, and that's what we see in nature a lot. But you just want to be careful how much you do that. We have a really great course. I know I keep sounding like I'm hawking, pushing the website, but I really believe in it. We've got a great course by Ronnie Williford on our website, specifically talking about color and how to keep things from getting muddy and all of that. And I really recommend it. Ronnie Williford, we worked together at Disney. That's where we met. We've known each other for 25 years. And he's one of the best colorists I know, as far as understanding color and being able to get it down really well. And so that's why we asked him to come on and do the the course for us. He's currently working on a great course on drawing. Introduction to drawing.
That looks good.
There we go.
This kind of reminds me of Onward. Did you guys see that yet? What did you guys think of it?
I liked Onward. I saw it. Did you watch it?
I liked it.
I cried the whole time.
Yeah. I can see why. I know.
It sucks.
Yeah, I
But
know.
I loved that movie. It is so good.
So I'm going to have the light at his back and really kind of silhouette his face, his head. Let's get that silhouetted in there.
Have you tried digitally painting a chameleon? Currently working on one, and I want to cry a little bit.
You want to cry a little bit.
They are
A
very
little bit.
detailed. Very, very detailed.
No, I can't say that I've ever drawn a chameleon.
That would have been a fun request.
Mm.
Yeah, that would have put me on the spot.
I would have.
A chameleon.
All right, let's get some color in this buddy. In this buddy. In this baby.
Yeah, but
Make him white
white
or black. A black unicorn.
Ooh. Yeah.
Like blue black. Ooh, I think that'll be cool. Like dark smoky gray with a dark black mane.
Ooh, that is pretty.
But with
Yeah.
like a blue sheen,
Like a blue
like
rum.
a grackle. Because you know how the grackles have like that black, but they have that blue sheen off their feathers.
Mm-hmm.
The males, yeah,
Yeah, I noticed that.
something like that. What do you think?
Yeah.
I was actually thinking black horse to begin with, just based off of just the way
The
it
look.
looks. It looks like it would be a black horse.
Do you still keep in touch with Glenn Keane?
We don't keep in touch per se, but we go to a lot of the same conventions and conferences, and when we see each other and catch up.
Ah, Dave on Instagram says aloha, Delando.
I think somebody thinks I'm big in the background.
It was Dave.
Dave!
Dave says aloha, Delando.
Hello! When tackling YouTube question, when tackling human anatomy, should I start with individual pieces of the body and then put them together, or start with full body gestures and focusing on the whole human body at one time? Yes, the latter. Really look at the whole form and how it flows together, and get that gesture in there, and then you break it down. Go from the broad to the detailed. Start broad, and then you work towards the detail. Details being individual body parts. The broad being obviously the entire body. Look at it as a whole, and then work towards that, those parts.
Hedlund says, morning, Aaron, V, and Dustin.
Good
Thank
morning.
you for the bonus classes after the Sarasota workshop. And Dustin, the photos are amazing. Thank you so much. Glad you like them. Unicorn with lion tail? Awesome, anyways.
Well, I mean, unicorns have one.
I think that's kind of traditionally what they've got, isn't it?
Yeah, that is.
I think it's just so many people and so many filmmakers have
Uses
portrayed
different horse.
unicorns with regular tails, or like with regular horse tails.
Yeah.
That it's just kind of slipped away from the original.
Slip sliding away.
Just in case people didn't know who I was.
Hey, Gabby's here.
Gabby!
Morning, guys. Finally made it.
Wow, you're up early, Gabby. Holy cow. I'm impressed.
Indeed.
And Jesse just said, "I'm actually the female background voice. Hello, people." Oh, hello. I didn't know you were there.
I didn't know I was here either.
Yeah, I like this color.
It's really pretty.
Whoever requested this, thank you, because I never would have drawn a unicorn. I've always thought of unicorns as being a little...
He's a manly unicorn.
Yes.
Badly.
Super manly. He's a manly man.
No, you're a man.
You're a man now.
I'm a man, I'm a man, I'm a man.
To become a man, you must become a manly unicorn.
Yeah, Gary says it's like 6 a.m. Went to bed at 2 because I was playing Red Dead Redemption.
You young
That's
kids in your games.
That's a fun game, but it's probably get to bed sooner. But
Is that the Western one?
yeah,
Oh, I know the art director of that game, Darren Bader, a brilliant artist. We went to Africa together, actually.
that's a big unicorn.
Yeah, I always like to think, at least do something a little different than tradition, right? I always like to do that. Make him heroic.
A few questions from Instagram. Are your courses on how to paint in Photoshop be applied to other software like Krita?
Not really. My how to paint in Photoshop course is really specific to Photoshop. It's I've never used Krita, so I don't know if it translates, if it translates at all. So I'm sorry about that, but no, it I don't think it does.
Somebody said, "Why is it called unicorn but not unihorn?" And I'm thinking unicorn on the cob because I don't know why I just found that funny.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey,
What are some cheap and very useful sketchbooks that you like to use?
cheap and useful sketchbooks.
Yes.
My Strathmore. These.
Your Strathmore.
I love these. They are very useful. I don't even think I don't even think I've. This is a fresh one. Sorry, this is a fresh one. So I love these. They're toned gray and not expensive. Maybe not. I don't know. I set that to multiply. I think that made the line work. I set it to multiply. I think it's making it too heavy. Just set that back to normal.
What breed of horse are you using as reference, or are you going on a personal knowledge from your mind?
I'm just going out of my mind. I'm thinking of draft horses, big horses.
You're going out of your mind?
I'm going out of my mind.
He's going psycho! Hello there. Does your courses have subtitles?
Yes. We have courses that are subtitled in Portuguese, Spanish, English for the hearing impaired. I think we have some Chinese, Mandarin translations as well.
What are some of your
Twitch comment. Printer paper is my go-to sketchbook. That's good.
What are some of your art influences?
I'm very influenced by a lot of painters like John Singer Sargent, Joaquin Sorolla, Anders Zorn. And then, there's a lot of contemporary artists that we see online that I just absolutely love. So, and there's too many to mention.
Why did you cut off your cool ponytail?
Because I live in Florida and it's
Hot
as hell here, and I decided I didn't want it long anymore. I had it long for 25 years. I donated it. Every about 3 or 4 years I would cut it and donate it. And over that 25 years, I donated about 8 feet of hair.
Hi, Aaron. You said in one of your live streams that creativity is like a muscle. What's the best way to exercise that muscle? Thanks.
Well, what's the best way to exercise any muscle?
Work out.
Work out. Yeah, so you gotta work it, and that's pretty much how you do it. You gotta be creative as often as you can.
Oh. Vedanta says spotted woodpecker, cardinal, and titmouse are all attacking our bird feeders. Right.
Oh,
So
you want to
cool.
be out there so bad, don't you?
Oh.
Let's wrap this up quick.
Hi, Aaron. I bought brush set 1. Can you make a demo video of this set? Sure, we can do that. That's a good idea. So I'm really going to put him in silhouette here. Look at that.
What brush are you currently using right now for the latecomers?
This is my sketching brush. I made this brush about, I don't know, made this brush about 6 or 7 years ago, and decided to make it part of my original custom brush set that's available on my website, and it works really well. Oh, I gotta paint the horn. I haven't painted the horn yet.
The horn. The horn. Ready for another question? Or are you still talking?
Yes.
Hmm?
Yes.
Good. Can you talk about your trip to Africa?
Yeah, Africa's, if you've ever wondered or wanted to travel the world, if you've ever been interested in Africa, it's everything you would ever dream it to be. And it really is, it was for me. I can't say enough good things. When I'm not in Africa, I'm trying to figure out when I can get back. And when I'm there, I'm trying to figure out how I can stay. And it's just one of the most wonderful places I've ever been to. And it's like watching the Discovery Channel in real life. And it's just absolutely beautiful. Wonderful people. Amazing wildlife. It's the experience of a lifetime. It really is. I've been twice, and I'm hoping to go again as soon as the
The corona.
the COVID-19 scare is over. Not scare, but the actual pandemic. I shouldn't say scare because it's not just a scare. It's the real deal. It's the real deal, folks. Don't take it for granted.
And speaking of that, I'm sorry. Somebody said, "How are you guys doing with the corona over there in Florida? Here in Cornwall, United Kingdom life is much the same."
Yeah, I mean I don't think a lot of people are taking the stay-at-home
No.
stuff too seriously.
Nope.
Which they should.
They want to get their hairs cut.
Shave off.
I've taken it seriously, and I really only go out if I need to. We go out to get building materials for the stuff that we're building in our backyard, and then we go to the grocery store, and that's really the only places we go. It takes me about a month to burn off the fuel in my truck, but yeah, it's pretty. I think people should take it seriously. Hey Aaron, I have many doubts about my drawing skill and my future. Since I was a kid, I loved animation movies, and now I'm 16 and really want to become an animator. Have you experienced something similar? Okay, I'm sorry I chuckled, but you said since you were a kid and now you're 16. You're still a kid. And I don't want you to have doubts about your drawing skills. You've got a lot to learn, and it's going to take time, and it's going to be, if you love doing it, then dive in there and just keep going at it. And don't be so hard on yourself. Art and drawing are skills that take time to perfect. They take a lifetime. I'm 52 years old and I'm still learning. And I'll be learning until the day I die. And it's when artists say they've pretty much mastered everything, That's when their creativity dies, because it's something that you never stop learning, and it's something that you will, pursue. And it's like being a musician, right? Great musicians will learn and create for a lifetime.
Hey kid,
Hey,
think you're
kid.
still a kid. Do you prefer concept art or cartoons?
I like both. It just depends on what my mood is, really. You know what I do need to get some reference for on this? First of all, I'm going to go complementary color, but light, very light on the horn. I need the sheen. I can't quite do that out of my head. I kind of can, but I want to make sure that I'm doing. Oh, doggone it! I'm on the wrong layer.
Oh no.
There we go. Oh, I gotta take it off lock.
Drawing on the wrong layer is like the worst.
Oh yeah.
I caught it though.
What country in Africa is your favorite?
Well, I've only been to two, Kenya and Tanzania, and they're both wonderful. Kenya, I love the Masai Mara. The concentration of wildlife there is incredible.
I would love to go there.
I'd love to go to Africa in general. It just seems like it'd be a really fun place to go.
Oh yeah.
And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to lock this in. Whoops. Oh, God, come on. There we go.
Since you did a video on drawing eagles, would you consider animating a eagle flapping its wings?
For a live stream, I'm going to be doing that in my course. I'm going to be showing all kinds of flight in my course.
Have you ever been to Brazil?
I've been to Brazil 4 times or 3 times. I've always been to, but I've never been to any place but Sao Paulo. I've been lucky that I've been all over the world, and that part I really enjoy. Well, actually, I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to do this as a out of my head.
Which art skills do you need if you want to work for Disney?
You just have, back in the day when I was working at Disney, it really, we had to have really great drawing skills, observational drawing skills. And but nowadays, if you want to be a 3D animator, you don't necessarily have to know how to draw. There's a lot of animators out there that don't draw. With the advent of 3D, that's, it's kind of a cool thing that artists, more people can approach that, animation now. Before you had to be a strong draftsman, and you don't have to now. You have to have the knowledge and the drive, to do the animation. So sorry, I'm getting as I'm starting to think about what I'm trying to do right here, my brain starts to wander. I have a hard time speaking.
Remember talking about surf stuff?
Yeah.
Long strokes.
Long strokes.
Nice and just go with the. Can I do it now? Shh.
Long strokes. I love that.
It's pretty funny.
Pretty funny.
You think you're funny?
It's like, oh my gosh.
Let's put some background color in here. YouTube question: would you recommend that beginners can try different styles, realism, stylized, or would it be better to focus on one first? Try it all. Expose yourself to, all kinds of art. Try it all.
Do everything or try everything.
Yeah.
Always like that song. It's inspirational. It gets you in that art mood to draw everything.
Yeah. Right.
Will the Birds of Prey course be on your channel on Instagram or on Creature Art Teacher?
It's going to be on creatureartteacher.com.
Dead King.
Be there or be square.
That's right.
You best be there, be square there, bud. Hello, Aaron. As always, you're
Hello.
awesome. Just a question. What are all the technical learning that you focus while drawing?
There's a lifetime of learning that goes into what you think about when drawing, and it's, there's lighting, there's form, there's general line quality, draftsmanship, all these different things that you think about when I'm drawing. So right now I'm thinking about lighting. I'm thinking about reflected light. I'm trying to get just enough reflected light in here to show off the form of this unicorn.
Oh, here's a good question. Do you do much drawing for yourself, stuff no one sees? I love drawing, but as if I just started my own business, I don't do much for me, and when I do, it's tough. Any advice?
Yeah, just find that time. You got to find the time to do it. I mean, nowadays you should have lots of time, depending on what your job is. If you're stuck at home, try to utilize that time to do your own thing. I do occasionally, do my own thing, but for my, it's my job. Which is I'm doing my job right now, talking to you guys. This is technically my job, and I love it. And I get to draw whatever I want. So that part of it's really cool.
This is maybe a watercolor question, but where did you buy your palette?
You can just order them online. I got mine through Amazon or Dick Blick.
This unicorn should be in a heavy metal situation. That's pretty metal.
One thing I'm gonna look up. I think I am gonna look up the lighting, because I want to get the sheen right on this guy.
What's the first thing you're going to do when all this lockdown stuff is over? Gabby asks.
Eat at a restaurant.
Eat at a restaurant?
Yeah, go get some good seafood.
I think I'm going to go to a bar.
There you go. Eric on Twitch asks, have you seen the animated film Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron? And if so, what did you think about it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've seen it many times. I know I have a lot of friends that worked on it, and I love it.
Do you have your own book?
No, we're working on one right now, actually.
Ooh, I want it.
It will be out eventually.
Have you ever tried to draw an Arabian horse before?
Yes. I have drawn an Arabian horse before. Instagram question. To do visual development as a job, do you need strong animating skills too? If so, what programs would you recommend learning for animation? Thank you. To be a visual development artist, you don't have to have strong animation skills, but it does help to understand animation, especially if you're doing visual development for animation, obviously. So, because you want to know if what you're designing can be animated in the right way or not. There we go. I'm just adding a couple of little bits of highlight here.
I find difficulties in maintaining proportions in any figure drawing. Do you have any suggestions?
Yeah, you got to really, before you start, look at the whole. Look at the entire picture, and look at the head compared to body. Look at the body compared to legs, and you make comparisons all over the place, and those are the things that will help you maintain your proportions. It's really getting in the habit of checking everything as you go. I'm going to do something really quick here, Nick.
Nick.
Hold on one second.
Nick, Birch.
Beautiful.
Are you good for a quick question?
Sure.
What fundamentals must you be good in to start off with drawing animals?
Just drawing in general. Any kind of drawing in general. People, you need to understand anatomy. And you need to understand the anatomy specific to whatever it is that you're wanting to draw. Hold on one second. Sorry, I pulled up I grabbed an image offline.
What the hell?
There we go. I grabbed an image offline. And I'm going to use it as a reference. My desktop.
For the lighting?
For the lighting, yes. Where's my new... Come on. Today. It never... See, this is what bugs the heck out of me. Is my search. Date modified. Let's do that. Screenshot. There it is. Nope, that's not it. See? Nick, help me.
Help me, Tom Cruise!
Date created. How about that? There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
There we go.
There we go. So, I got this. You see the sheen on that coat? I want to make... I like that, and I want to make sure I'm doing it right. So, I'm going to use this as a reference for my shiny coat.
The moment you start drawing, you're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
What's your favorite animal to draw?
I love unicorns.
Unicorns, man, you're my favorite.
You like pretty big ponies.
I love drawing
Big cats.
big cats. I love drawing big cats. They are truly my favorite thing to draw.
Ooh, you know what would have been a really interesting species to draw? A big cat unicorn hybrid. That would have been interesting.
Oh yeah. What are your go-to sites for anatomy reference? It's really I get out in the wild and photograph a lot. There aren't really I don't know of any sites that are really go-to for reference in the way that you're talking about. I've kind of learned over the years. You just got to search. To be honest with you, I don't have anything off the top of my head other than, Tara Whitlatch is a great person to learn from. Yeah, sorry. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know, boo-boo.
I don't know, boo-boo. What's the most difficult animal pose that you've ever drawn?
I don't know. That's an interesting question. The most difficult animal pose. I never think about it that way. First of all drawing is hard. It just is.
It's tricky.
All drawing is hard. I find it all hard. It's just some are less hard than others.
How did you meet Nick? And can you generally describe how such an art partnership or partnership works?
Partnership.
Partnership.
Come on.
That's
No, Nick and I, we met through Ringling. He went to Ringling and also was an instructor there. And his class asked to bring in, artists, and I was one of the artists that they brought in. And Nick and I just clicked. We hit it off, and it's been a beautiful relationship ever since.
I believe this is the start of a wonderful relationship.
But we just work well together. I think we have similar wants from the business. We have similar ethics. I think honest. We both take pride in that. We both have similar wants in what we want the business to be, which is getting information out to the public and doing some good in the world.
And Gabby says, Dustin, dude, I love all your photos you post. And the group page was great. Can't wait for the next class. Hopefully West Coast?
Maybe.
Here's hoping. And thank you very much, Gabby. Thank you.
Proco is a great resource. Oh, shoot. Of course. I'm sorry. Proco is awesome. If you don't know Proco on YouTube in his school, for human anatomy reference, Proco is fantastic. He's a good friend and he's an amazing artist. Twitch question. Hey Aaron, I'm a creative designer working in web design, branding, UX with 10 plus years experience in those fields. I have recently picked up a Cintiq and I'm trying to enter digital art. One thing I'm really struggling with is separating myself from my current field protocol when it comes to constructing pieces. Do you have any advice concerning breaking away from years of habit and to do things in a new light? It's interesting. The way you used to do things compared to the way you're doing things now can actually benefit you. I found that when I came over to the digital realm, I just went ahead and brought a lot of what I do traditionally into that realm, into that world, and it benefited me. That's the one thing that I love about digital drawing and painting, especially with things like Photoshop and other programs like Procreate. That is that you can do any one thing 1,000 different ways. It's however you want to do it. It can benefit you, and so I take advantage of that, and I found that my digital work has improved because of my experience working traditionally, and also my traditional work has changed and grown as a result of my digital painting, and so I think that's pretty cool.
Have you watched Tiger King?
Oh
What are your thoughts?
Unfortunately, I have watched Tiger King. Yes. Unfortunately, I have. It's a train wreck that I can't look away from.
It's a dumpster fire.
It really is. Nick said it worked best though, because he tried to watch it and it was just too cringeworthy.
I would think so too.
Yeah, it's just horrible.
I just heard about it and I already think it's a dumpster fire. I'm not even gonna bother.
Yeah, it's just horrible.
Yeah, I was very against watching it, but then I was just like, I'm going to watch it just to catch up on modern times.
What everyone's saying.
What everyone's talking about, like what all this is all about, and I kind of regret it, and I kind of missed a few details, so I had to watch it again.
Yeah, it's bad. Where's our multiply? There it is.
What's your favorite things to watch on Disney Plus? It's just come out here in the UK a few weeks ago.
I don't. To be honest with you, I've shoot. Hold on. Sorry. I haven't been watching. I hate saying this because I sound like one of those snobby folks that say, I don't have a television. I don't watch TV. But since the whole Corona thing is started, I truly have not been watching TV. At all. I think we've sat and watched TV in the last month, twice. And because we're sitting outside, we've been building every day, or I'm working in here, and then at night we go in and go out, and I have a fire every night, and we sit by the fire, and drink our lives away.
Yep. Yeah, I've been going down the nostalgia road of watching like the classic Disney movies like Great Mouse Detective, Jungle Book, Robin Hood.
Oh, that's cool.
And also watching the classic shows of like Tailspin, and currently been binging the Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Oh, yeah.
Just things like that, just taking a trip down memory lane on Disney Plus.
Same here. I've already almost run out of things to watch on there. That's how much I've been home.
Do you like Kung Fu Panda? I love Kung Fu Panda.
I love that.
I think it's one of the best things that DreamWorks has ever done.
I agree. I watched the heck out of that movie.
Yeah.
There are no accidents.
The animation and voice recording by Jack Black is flawless. The design is stunning of that film. Everything about that film is incredible. I've got a funny story. I had a meeting when I was finishing up my contract with Disney right after Brother Bear. I was looking around where I might go. I wasn't sure if I was going to stay at Disney or work somewhere else. And so I had a meeting with Jeffrey Katzenberg, who was the head of DreamWorks, and he was telling me about some of the movies that they had in development that we might be interested in. And one was this story about this panda bear that knew kung fu, and the way he pitched it was just kind of flat, and I remember thinking, what a stupid idea for a movie. It's just like, that's like the most low-hanging fruit. Ooh, a panda that knows kung fu. Oh, well, I learned very, very, very quickly not to judge after that. I ended up staying with Disney, and then Kung Fu Panda came out, and I went, oh.
Whoops. Question for Dustin. As an artist in search of photo reference, I worry about using photographers' photo reference. I usually contact the photographer and ask for permission of you to make sure I credit the photographer. How would you prefer artists approach, credit, and or create your art? I would say if you buy the reference packs on the website, you have full copyright use of using them as reference photos from there. Like, you don't need permission, you don't need to give credit. Although that would be although we would like to be tagged into the artwork just to see what you created.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh. Just to see what you created, like it would be a really nice gesture. But reference pack wise, you don't really need to do all that stuff because it's right there for you. But if there's not a reference pack available and you see the photos on, say, like Instagram or Facebook, at that point you would want to talk to the photographer that originally took that photo to make sure that they're okay with it. Either that, or if you can't get a hold of them, you can go for it anyways, and just make sure to give that artist the credit. Just to say, like, oh, I had this idea from seeing this person's photo. Be sure to check it out. Blah blah blah. You know, you can do one of those things. But yeah. So that's my thoughts on the reference pack artist sort of deal.
Sorry about that. I've been waiting on a phone call from a drywaller,
and it just happened
to give us an estimate, and he just happened to call me right when we're doing this. I apologize, everybody. So here we go.
Oh,
so now I'm gonna come up here. Oh, cancel. Oh, doggone it. Hold on. Forgot what I was doing.
Oh yeah, Gabby. I need to watch Darkwing Duck. Let's get.
So what I'm doing is I'm adjusting the highlights on his body. I didn't like them the way they were, so I'm adjusting the color. Hey Aaron, if you could draw all of your immediate family as animals, what would they be portrayed as? You included. Oh. Snakes. They're all snakes. No, leeches. They're all leeches. No, I don't know. Bears? I don't know.
The Charmin bears. They're so cute and fluffy.
Fluffy.
So fluffy, I'm gonna die. So fluffy, I'm gonna die.
All right, let's see here. I'm gonna get some really bright sheen. I'm looking at the sheen on the horse in the image.
Did you ever worry about how long it took to draw certain frames for animation? Sometimes when I'm trying to figure out the movement, it feels like it's taking longer than it should. I think I have a problem with patience.
Yeah, there's definitely an issue with you do have to be patient. And to a certain degree, you have to be able to get things done at a relatively good clip. In order for you to justify your salary, for lack of a better way of putting it. And so, yeah, I mean, it's good. You don't want to just hack stuff out, but you don't want to take forever on it either. But if you're just starting out, don't put that pressure on yourself yet. No, don't do that.
Dustin, please ask your dad to paint some fire in the background. Orange color will look so cool in the background of the dark blue black horse.
No.
I think we're a little late on that. I mean, you have that like pinkish hue going on the bottom there. That could be the edge.
Did you say Pikachu?
Pikachu.
You have that Pikachu in the background there.
Huh?
You do have that Pikachu in the background.
Pikachu.
Oh, I mean the pinkish hue. Oh, gotcha.
The pinkish hue? Or
Pinkish hue.
That's a tongue
The
twister.
pinkish hue. Pikachu. What is your favorite art discipline?
My favorite art discipline. I'm not sure I understand what they mean by my favorite art discipline, but they might mean my favorite art medium. I think you might mean. In which case, I love watercolor, and I love charcoal. Actually, I love it all. I love digital. I love oil. I really do.
Can you please add yellow for the grass?
Oh, I'm going to be doing a lot more on the grass, so don't worry. I'm jumping around here. Jump around. Jump, jump, jump around.
You're just going to leave it as it is right there.
See there. Now I got that little sheen in there. That feels better.
That looks really good.
The sheen on his body.
Very nice sheen.
Nice sheen.
It's nice and shiny and sheeny.
I'm going to do another. Let me do here. There we go. Set that to overlay. Now I'm going to go in with some deeper darks. Whoops. Yeah, there we go. Nope. I'm going with some slightly deeper darks.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going, eh? What are your thoughts on the approach to learning perspective?
Funny you mention that. I've got an entire course on my website on learning perspective. Learning perspective was one of the first things I learned as a young artist. I started learning 2-point perspective when I was 8 years old. My stepfather was an interior designer and taught me, how to work in perspective. And then I trained myself in learning perspective to scale, and then also 3-point perspective. And so I cover all of that in my in this course that I have on our website, and you can learn everything you want to know about perspective in that course.
Have you ever done a Lord of the Rings fan art?
I don't think I have, actually.
You have another question right here. Do you draw with graphite pencils?
Yeah, occasionally. I haven't drawn with pencils in a long time, but I do. Yes.
I've always been curious about getting some myself. I just haven't found out the best ones to use. So I can think of a few different brands.
It's really not about the brand. It's about the softness of the pencil.
And I think the type of paper you use also plays a role.
It plays a huge role. Yes.
Yeah. So you like to use the tone gray.
I like tone gray for ink. Yeah.
Don Higgins says, "That's a nice sheen you got there. Is that a Martin sheen?" Sorry, I'm allowed one bad pun a day. That should take care of me for the week.
Barfed a little bit in my mouth.
Is that a Martin sheen?
How do you make and apply a pitch? Well, a pitch is that's a big question. You know, first of all, when you pitch a story or movie, you really need to, you got to act it out. You got to believe in it. You have to deliver. Basically, is what I'm saying, and just pitch it like it's the last story you could ever tell. And I love pitching. I love getting into the emotion. I'll even tear up sometimes when I'm pitching because I get so deep into the story, and you've got to make it real for the viewer, or for the person listening to you pitch, and so to that end, I try to do that.
Would you say that soft pencils help out better with adding light?
Soft pencils will help with getting. It depends on if you're going dark or light or whatever, but they're great at just getting if it's colored pencil or graphite. The softer the pencil, the more the pigment is going to get onto the surface.
Here's a good question. Who are your favorite artists, and where do you find inspiration?
I find inspiration in nature, and looking at other artists. Some of my favorite artists I was talking about earlier is Joaquin Sorolla, John Singer Sargent, Andrew Wyeth. You know, these are artists that have always inspired me since I was a kid. You know, Robert Bateman, Guy Koliak, Terrell Whitlatch really inspires me. You know, there's a lot of great people out there.
Let's see, there's another one that says...
Let me ask this one real quick.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Hey, Aaron, as an animator, do you have to come up with ideas for your movies as an animator?
Not as an animator, you don't, but as a director, you do. And there we go. And so, you know, you're responsible for the film and the storytelling as the director of the. So, you know, you work closely with writers, but a lot of time in animation, especially, the writer is one of the directors. And so we do a lot of collaboration in that way. There we go. Oh, there we go. I want to get a little bit of reflected light under that belly. See, I'm liking that the way that's coming out now. See, we get a little bit of that violet reflected light under here.
Is it hard to get to Ringling College, and what base of knowledge do I have to? What college or university do you recommend?
I don't recommend any college or universities, to be honest with you. I mean, it's not that I don't think you should go. I just I'm not affiliated with any of them, and so I think there's great colleges out there and universities, but they're all a bit different, and it really depends on what you're looking for. But there's some, you know, when I went to Ringling, it was a completely different school. I went to learn illustration, and the animation part of it didn't even exist at the time, so it was a completely different thing. But I mean, there's you know, look around. There's a lot of great schools, but I think also you can learn a lot online. I think there's a lot of great online learning nowadays. There's so much information out there. Sorry, Dustin, go ahead.
No worries. How long did it take you to be able to work in your field, and did you go to schooling first?
Yes, I went to the Ringling College of Art and Design, and I got a degree in. I didn't get a degree, but I graduated having been trained in illustration. And then I went on. I started at Disney before I got my degree, and I never went back to get my degree. And but I trained, in an internship with Disney, where I learned animation.
Question for Dustin: what did you do before you got into wildlife photography?
He was a nothing. Just a nothing.
I was a nobody. Nobody liked me. No. Now, before I joined the crew, I had somewhat of a career in movie visual effects as a 3D depth artist. So if you saw a movie in 3D, that's the kind of work I would do. I would through computer would create a 3D footage, but and I was doing that for about, in total together, about 6 years, including digital domain.
Yeah, probably.
And so I was doing that, but nowadays I work as the cameraman and video editor for the crew, and the wildlife photography thing is kind of a side gig, which I absolutely love to do. But art-wise, I used to do a lot of drawing in high school, and like graphic design, things like that, but not a whole lot anymore.
So I'm just adding some texture in this grass here. The perspective course, by the way, for the person that was asking about perspective, the perspective course is 45% off right now. So that's a huge cut. So if you want to learn perspective, which I recommend, you need to understand it, then head on over to creatureartteacher.com.
Here's another question. Would you want to make your own movie or short film animation?
I am currently making my own short film. Nick and I are making it right now, called Snow Bear.
I'm excited for that myself.
Yeah, so am I. Aaron, a question. Why did they cancel The Legend of Tembo? Because the company I was working for went bankrupt. They ran out of money, basically. They ran out of dough and laid everybody off. So, wasn't my first choice, that's for sure. I was really in love with that film and was hoping we'd get to make it.
If you were an animal, what kind of animal would you be?
You're asking the same questions.
Did I ask that question?
No, actually, it was, what's my favorite thing to draw? That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd be. I want something I can fly. I love flight. I love flying. I used to fly. Used to have a little ultralight powered parachute type thing that I used to fly all over the place. And I just love it.
And I see myself as either a lion or a bear. A lot of eating and a lot of sleeping.
What's the easiest way to animate hand-drawn on paper, and is it worth it still with digital art? Yeah, it's absolutely worth it, and there's nothing easy about it. So there's no easiest way of doing anything. You just got to sit down, and first thing you got to understand is how to flip the paper, how to roll that paper and see the animation that you're drawing. That takes time to perfect it just in itself. There's a craft, there's an art. I hate using the word craft. It's my craft, man. I hate that. I can't stand it. But there is an art to it.
This unicorn sure has some meat sticks.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Beefy.
It is beefy.
Can we draw a rainbow behind the unicorn?
No.
Or with the rainbows.
We're going to
That's a big no.
Charlie.
Candy Mountain, Charlie.
There's a big rainbow there, Charlie.
Come, Charlie. Candy Mountain.
Let me see what would happen if I do this. Whoops, I gotta turn the transfer off. That's too solid. Don't like it.
I don't like that.
Twitch question. I was just watching some old streams. Did you ever end up saving that grunge texture as its own file? No, I didn't. Everybody gives me a hard time about that.
Howdy, Aaron.
Hi.
Could I use the same techniques in GIMP? I've heard people say it's a free version of Photoshop. Cheers.
I have no idea.
I've
I
never heard
don't know
that
what
software.
GIMP is, other than Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, better get the GIMP.
Oh boy.
So I'm just drawing the brighter grass that's going to be catching light. Oops. What animal would you be? Questions was from what?
What?
The what animal would you be? Questions was from Tony Bancroft. FYI. The what animal?
The what now?
Nick, you need
Hold
to
on.
translate these a bit better.
The what animal would you be? Questions was from Tony Bancroft. FYI.
I could usually read that sort of stuff because I have a friend that doesn't know how to type either.
YouTube question: has COVID delayed your upcoming courses, like the release of the Birds of Prey? Also, excuse me. Also, I wonder if you have a timeline on other planned courses, like the marine creatures. We don't have a timeline, and if anything, the COVID-19 thing has kind of enabled us to create, because we're stuck at home more. It's enabling us to get more done, to be honest with you. So, oh, Tony Bancroft is the one that asked, what animal would you be? Oh, come on, Tony. That's such a lame question. Tony Bancroft. For those of you that don't know, Tony Bancroft directed Mulan and was also the supervising animator of the brilliant character and animation of Pumbaa in The Lion King. Tony and I have been friends for 32 years.
Caroline just said,
31
hello,
years.
Florida fam.
Hello?
Hey there, Caroline. Good to see ya. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's okay. I'm used to it. Rude.
And Abby Lee just joined too.
Twitch question. Hi, Aaron. What are your thoughts about competitively and pressure in the industry to become to be the best? I think I read that right.
The best.
Becoming the best.
Well, I've never strived to be the best. I try to be the best I can be, and I really, that's what I compare myself to. I compare myself against myself. I'm constantly inspired by other artists like Tony Bancroft. Lots of guys that I know that I see how they artistically interpret something, and I become inspired, and I let it apply. I let it, my brain kind of soak it in and apply it to my own work. So I think it's a good thing, to be honest. But you have to take it the right way. You got to be, don't get discouraged by looking at other people's work. Be inspired by it.
When inking your wildlife Inktober 2019 pieces, was there an artist referenced for inspiring that style?
No, I just kind of have my own style. Now, I'm sure other artists have influenced me. That's kind of what I was just talking about. I think over time, you become influenced by all the art you look at and that sort of thing. And so there we go. I'm sorry, I brain farted again.
Hate it when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
I do. that a lot.
So over time, you develop your own style, really.
Do you have any tips for background art?
You know, you got to be a good painter. You got to understand color. You got to understand composition. You know, that's a big one. Understanding composition for background artists and layout artists is huge.
Do you think it's better to stick with one type of medium as opposed to switching it up?
No, I always think it's better switching it up. You learn more. I really think you should, try different things and, especially artistically, try everything. And you'll learn so much more and it's, it's a lot more gratifying, I think. Do you like James Baxter's work? I actually think James Baxter is one of the, if not the best contemporary animator in the world right now. The best animator that's alive. That's how much I like James Baxter's work. I really think he is probably one of the best animators alive today.
Will you be posting this work on Instagram?
Yes, I will be posting it on Instagram. Do we still have Instagram up?
Instagram is still rolling.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't know how that's possible.
There we go. So what I'm doing now is I'm doing some of the cooler reflected light in some of these grasses. I just want this nice, pretty, little meadowy kind of look. Come back to really hot.
Sorry, I gotta say it.
What are your thoughts on AI design? Will this kill the concept artist? No. I don't think. Not at all. I think the concept artist brings soul. And always will. Now, I've been known to be wrong every once in a while. Not very often, but,
It's very rare.
Or at least rare that I'll admit it. Is it possible? It's possible because Nick is a genius and humble, too.
For I am kind.
And that wasn't Nick that wrote that. No, that wasn't Nick at all.
Really? Uh-huh.
All right, so we have a nice hilly mound here. And let's put some let's put some nice clouds in the background.
Do you have moments when you sit down and have no idea how you're going to create a drawing or pull something off?
All the time.
You just start drawing and you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yep. Happens all the time. I'm going to just use my go-to cloud brush. It's my wet media brush, actually. It makes for nice clouds.
Ooh. I always do darks and then do lights.
Yeah.
Gabby says, you guys have been really busy with all the additions and buildings and such.
Oh yeah, we've been building like crazy. Matter of fact, we've got the drywall guy here now. That's the one thing we won't do. I will not do drywall.
What was your inspiration for this unicorn?
You guys. Today was request day.
Everybody wanted him to draw.
So you guys asked me to draw a unicorn. I just decided to do something a little different. Making him a big, burly, deep, I love shiny black coats on horses.
Hi, Aaron. What are the dimensions and DPI you use in your works?
This one's 12 by 16 at 300 DPI. I always go 300 DPI and I not 12 by 16, 20 by 16. And I always make the longest dimension of whatever it is that I'm painting 20 inches.
Alright, I got another question here.
Hang on, I'm sorry, I gotta say this one thing.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Without Nick, Aaron wouldn't be able to use voice recognition technology in a lift in Scotland. Thank you, Martin.
Alright, this one was asked by my sister.
Oh, cool.
Can you ask, is it easier to create art on the computer versus paper or canvas, or paper canvas? I love painting on canvas. Drawing on paper has always been, drawing on paper and have always been scared to try doing art on the computer. What is your recommendation for starting out on the computer?
Well, if you can get something like a Cintiq, I think it definitely helps. But drawing on a tablet is something you can train yourself to do, and it's just you just got to attack it. You can't be afraid of it. Let me do something here. It's something that's going to take time, and every medium has its own challenges, and so just get in there and attack it and see what you get. So what I'm doing right now is I'm locking this down, and I'm going in and I'm going to play opposite color.
I had a question.
Does Jessie draw or paint?
I do actually.
Yes,
I
she
am an
does.
artist myself.
Yeah.
And I mean, I wasn't gonna like promote myself in somebody else's stream because I find that
Oh,
but
no.
I do draw and I do digital media myself.
And also you've been getting requests for costume designs too.
I do. I also make costumes as well.
Yeah, that's cool.
Thank you.
So what I've done here is I've taken the layer, the cloud layer, and locked it. So I can't paint outside of the clouds that I've already painted. And now I'm just going in with an underlight, because I'm imagining this being sunset. Actually, I'm going to go a little brighter with that.
Uncle Travis is here.
Hey!
Good morning.
Travis.
Says, good morning, little nephew. Good morning, brother. I need a coffee. Hey, you found my black stallion unicorn. I want it back now, please. Well, I think it's dad's now.
There, see? So you can create this. Look how quickly we created these clouds. The underlighting. Just by locking them and just using some different values.
How did Dustin start in the 3D field? It was through Digital Domain. There was a special training boot camp experiment that was going on, where anybody that had previous computer experience and artistic experience was able to learn visual effects, and it went from visual effects into 3D conversion. Class within the span of a month.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how I got started in into 3D depth, and worked with Digital Domain for about a year and a half. Worked on Transformer: Dark of the Moon and Smurfs then, and after the studio shut down, I got hired by Stereo D in California, and worked with them for a couple of years.
Yeah.
But yeah, it all started at Digital Domain.
Messed up on something here. There we go. We'll take that. And we'll take that. And we'll make that a folder. And then we're going to copy that folder. And merge the group. There we go. Good, yeah?
Gut, ja. Das gut.
I want to soften some of these edges.
On the next live stream, can you draw Nick as the Thing from the Fantastic Four?
As the-
Ben Grimm?
As the Thing.
That's Ben Grimm, right?
No. Because we keep telling Nick to do the thing.
All right.
Nick, do the thing. It's clobbering time. Or as Nick would say it, it's clobbering.
Famer on Facebook asks, how many layers should I use when drawing with Photoshop? Use as many layers as it takes. It doesn't matter. Just remember, the more layers you use, the higher, you know, it's gonna get heavier. The file will get heavy. So I'm just going through and cleaning up some of these edges.
And Abby Lee's asking, do you use default brushes on TV Paint or do you make customs? Any info on that is appreciated.
I use default. I like their number 2 pencil.
The default number 2?
Yeah, no, they're it's a number 2. Yeah, it's a number 2 pencil.
Which is on their default.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, I've never painted with Photoshop, but I really want to.
No, you said TV Paint though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
TVP.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
TVP.
Oh yeah, what is the because you draw directly onto TV Paint, do you also do like line art as well? Like not just sketches but line art, like cleanup?
A little bit.
Oh, okay.
Not
that
much.
Was like a personal question from me because I was just curious.
No, I don't. I tend to keep everything pretty loose.
I really like sketch animations. They just look so just natural to me.
Yeah. I like it too. So here we're just going to finish up really quickly here.
It's so beautiful.
He's so pretty.
Look at that manly beefy unicorn.
Oh, he beefy.
Oh, he big.
He big boy.
I'm going to try adding a little warmth to some of the sheen. Just see what it looks like.
Do you think there will be another renaissance in animation?
Yes. I think we're seeing it now with all the streaming options
Probably
that are out
YouTube.
there.
Yeah.
I
Streaming
think-
options, YouTube, all that.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see a lot more really cool things happening in animation.
I think somebody said, is my question too hard to answer? I'm trying to figure out.
Would you ever consider working for a big studio again?
I might consider it if it's the right project, but to be honest with you, I really love what I do. I really love what I do now.
Good lord.
Using some dry brush here.
Animation related one. Can I do an anticipation parting from pose A to the antic with just one in between?
Yeah, it always depends on just what the style is that you're trying to get across.
And how would that chart be?
Well, it's only one in between, so it's only one notch on the chart, and then you just got to decide where you want that drawing, and put it according to the chart.
Go check. For my chameleon drawing, I had 56 layers, when in reality, I only have 15. How much I've struggled.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Good lord, too. It's like,
Good
God.
lord.
It's like I couldn't keep track of 56 layers now. That's anxiety attack right there.
There we go. Just getting a little bit of trying to get this sheen looking right.
That background kind of looks tasty. It's like an early morning taste to it.
Oh yeah. I was thinking more like an evening. Sunset.
I don't know. The blue and the purple is more sunrising, I
There
guess.
we go.
To me, anyway.
Have you ever drawn comics?
Not really.
They're very tedious.
I like him. I just haven't done it. Got one here. Instagram question: what do you recommend to do to young artists that are starting to make art more professional? Well, yeah, you just you really have to just keep practicing, and don't undersell yourself. That's a big thing, and just get out there and attack it, and really take pride in your work, and trying to think of how to answer that question. It's it's being a professional. It's an idea. It's an attitude, and you want to make sure that you're respectful of the clients that you're working with, but don't let them walk over you. So let them make sure that they're respectful of you as well.
Ever thought of doing an animated project with Sandro Cliuzo?
Yeah. Well, we used to work together, Sandro and I.
Is that how you pronounce his last name?
Yeah.
Cliuzo?
Yeah, Cluzo.
Cluzo.
Yeah, we used to work together, and I think he's brilliant.
Can I create a full animation with Photoshop and make it a short movie? I only get GIFs.
I don't know. I don't animate in Photoshop. I don't recommend animating in Photoshop. Photoshop's not made for that. A lot of people do.
They crazy.
But yeah, I don't know how they do it. So I'm just adding a few last details here. This one was fun. I enjoyed this one.
Hi, Aaron. Greetings from Singapore.
Hello.
Just wanted to ask about your process on your underlay for the clouds. You said you locked the layer.
Yeah.
How do you edit a locked layer? Sorry if I heard it wrongly.
Well, it's no. What that means is when I lock the layer, the area that I've painted already, that's the only place I can paint. I can't paint outside of the area that I've painted, so that allows me to create the underlay. I'll show you what I mean. Let me turn this. Let me turn the clouds off. Right there. So, let me blow this up for you so you can see. Let's, and I'm going to be finishing up here. I just want to show this last little technique. So if I've got this cloud brush, let's say I kind of draw across like that. Now if I don't lock the layer, and I want to paint some light underneath, it goes outside of you can see it, which isn't horrible, but if I lock the layer, right there, if I lock it, then the only place I can paint is where the paint already is. And so it gives me a bit more control that way. If I already like the shape of my clouds, I don't want to mess them up, then I just have to lock that layer, and then it'll only paint within that shape. So that's what I was doing there.
That's like so crazy.
Yeah, it's very cool. So there's our unicorn.
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 Now that right there is a unicorn.
He's so majestic.
That's right.
He's very shiny and thick.
That's poster worthy right there.
There we go. So there's our unicorn. That was fun. I really appreciate you guys coming on and participating and giving me ideas. And what I love about doing request day is that every single time I do request day, I end up drawing something that I never would have drawn. I don't draw unicorns, but this one was pretty cool. It was pretty fun.
He's bad to the bone.
Yeah.
He's the last unicorn too,
It's like,
with
if
a
I'm gonna
vengeance.
draw a unicorn, he's gonna be awesome. He's gonna be majestic and manly.
So there we go. I'm just putting the last couple little reflected highlights and stuff. And the horse of course.
He's a unicorn on the cob.
So there we go.
Bred for war.
And I tried to keep the drawing pretty simple, and kept the pose. When I was struggling for the pose earlier, I was neglecting the silhouette, and I was neglecting the flow, the fluidity. And I wanted something here. I wanted something that just had a great silhouette to it. And so that's how we ended up with this pose right here.
Really
So
shot.
there you go. That's it.
Beautiful.
That's it, people.
Pretty.
So once again, remember, we've got so many courses over at creatureartteacher.com that will teach you to draw, to paint, to design, to write, to storyboard, to do all kinds of stuff. And they're all on sale with deep, deep cuts because we want you guys that are stuck at home to be able to do something at home. So go to creatureartteacher.com and see what we've got, and you be the judge. And we really, really appreciate you guys hanging out with us today. And all you folks on Instagram that have been watching, I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to be doing this twice a week. So I'm really glad we started using the Instagram platform. It's been awesome. And hopefully that'll, we'll be able to spread the word and let our audience grow there. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week. We're going to be back again on Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's our regular time that we do it. And until then, have a wonderful week and stay safe. Please stay safe. Stay indoors. Don't cough on anybody. Wash your hands.
Don't be
Put your
mean.
grocery cart away if you go to the grocery store. Make somebody else's life better. We're in everyone's getting on each other's nerves. We're in a kind of in a tough time right now. And so do your part to make the world a little bit better. Put some beauty back into the world. Get out and create some art. And we will talk to you again on Friday. So have a great week until then. Dustin?
Thank you guys so much for watching. Glad you guys enjoyed this stream. And a special thank you to Jesse to be a part of the show today.
I had lots of fun.
Awesome. And if you are interested in any wildlife photography, you can check out my Instagram at Dustin_Blaze. Again, that's Dustin_Blaze on Instagram, and I post a new photo each day. And I'm actually starting to do a few live streams every once in a while on the Instagram. So we'll see how that goes. But once again, we'll see you guys next week. Once again, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
And until next time, Cowboy Bebop. See ya.